This is a full body flexibility reset using, in this case, a plyometric box, but you can use a chair, the side of a couch, your bed, just any elevated object. And if you're using a chair or something that might be unstable, just put it against a wall or something that you know is not going to move so that it's anchored. Okay, so we're going to start with facing the box, and we're going to step up with one leg. So this is going to start stretching out our hip, and then you're going to drive into that stretch forward. So level one is to step up and deepen into that stretch, and think about pushing with your back leg. So push your back leg in and push that back hip forward, keeping your back straight. So I'm not doing this, which is just going to kind of hurt my back. I'm trying to move forward with my hip right underneath me. Once that feels good, see if you can get your hand down to the box too, and then start reaching. So reach. You can change the angle you reach. And then finally, bring your inside elbow, so the leg that's up, that same side elbow, you want to try to bring it down to the box and then push through that hand and reach up and rotate into that stretch. Step back. The same thing on the other side. So push forward with that back hip. Drive your elbow as far down as you can get it. Take a big deep breath. Reach up. Good. And relax. So that's move number one, deep lunge with a reach. Then we're going to hit the hamstring, so the back side of the leg, and you're just going to bring the leg up, get tall through your spine, and then I want you to bow at the hip. So bowing at the hip as opposed to flexing your spine and bending at the back. So keep your back flat and bow. Once you're in this position, you can play around with a toe out, which will get your outer leg a little bit more, and then toe in, which can kind of get that inner leg. I'm doing this more at like a demonstration pace, just to show you guys each side and the different positions. But when you're doing this, you can hold each position for 60 seconds or up to even 2 minutes if you want to really improve your flexibility. Or you can kind of do it like I'm doing to make it more of an active mobility and movement. So you can also do that same kind of hamstring stretch just from the side, so you can change the angle a little bit. And reach towards the toe. Same thing on the side. So I'm trying to get kind of almost my inner thigh, and I'm really trying to keep that leg straight. So we have that multi-directional hamstring. Then we're going to go into a wide stance, and you're going to put your hands on the box and sit your hips back, and you can let your knees bend. So I'm not just bending forward like this with my legs straight. I'm actually trying to push my hips back and sit back but keep my back flat. And one way you can do that is by kind of pushing your hands forward and into the box. So as my hips slide back, my fingertips reach forward. And from here, you can lift your thumb and then lift your arm up. That might be advanced depending on your shoulder position, but even just practicing the reach and turning of the thumb, that can be an awesome place to start. And then we can also progress up to just reaching and rotating each direction. Nice. So the next one, I use a higher surface for. So if you can manage or find something that's higher, it might work for you. I'll show you an option if this doesn't work. So this is now stretching my glute. So I'm gonna bring my hip up, and I'm gonna try to lay my knee down flat to the box. And I'm keeping my hips square, and I'm keeping my back flat, and again, I'm just bowing forward. Bowing at the hip, not the back, and that puts a big stretch into my glutes. So bow forward, and you can take a couple deep breaths here, so a big inhale, and exhale. And to show you from the other side, so I'm making kind of a figure 4 here, and once I'm here, I'm trying to straighten that back leg and get tall, and then I can lean. If you can't do this, or it's just not comfortable enough to be in the position, you don't want it to be painful or too hard to maintain, then still using the box, or you could just use a wall in this case, just cross your legs like this and focus on either pushing your knee away or grabbing and pulling through. Or you can even kind of just use the distance from the wall to push your leg into that glute stretch position. So this on either side, here. Then lastly, since we're down here, you can use the edge of the chair and on all fours, kind of stretch your chest. So the idea is I want my whole shoulder blade to move. So I'm not trying to keep my shoulder in one place and my arm moves back. I want to feel that whole shoulder blade moving. So I'm going to put my elbow and my hand on the box, and I'm going to turn away from the stretched side. And then I'm just gonna let gravity do the work, and I'm just gonna kind of fall into that stretch through my chest, looking away and just kind of peeling my gaze and this side of my body up away. There. If you don't want to do this on the floor, you can easily do that same stretch in a doorway. Just hand and elbow against the threshold of the door. You're going to turn away. And then the last stretch here that I just remembered, again, now you can use the back of the chair, or if you have a box high enough, or just a wall, we're going to stretch your quad. So you're going to pull back up this way. And I'm trying to pull my knee back as I drive my hip forward. So this stretch doesn't work well when your whole back is really bent. Now it's my back that's being stretched and not my hip. So I want to be in a straight position, but I want to pull that knee back, but keeping my hips under me. And if you can't grab your foot, you can also put this against a wall or put your foot up on the chair like this, and then just kind of lean back into it. And you'll stretch your leg out that way too. And this is a pretty comfortable stretch. So those are the moves. Practice them. You can do them anywhere.